Boxing King Media in association with Boxer Spencer Oliver out here at the huge press turnout, Fury Chisora. Tell me now, a couple of days away from the fight, I know there were doubters for the fight initially, but I feel like there's a bit of excitement building now.
Absolutely. Listen, it's fight week, you know, we're here at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium just a couple of days before the fight, and look at the turnout. Yeah, the press are here, the media are here. Yeah, we've got a fight, man. Listen, one thing I can guarantee, right, Derek Chisora, who I've known since he was a kid, you know, boxing my amateur boxing club, my uncle trained him, you know, he's in my gym now. I know how hard this kid's trained. Like, look, they've got history, these two. 2011, Fury won on points. 2014, Derek retired on his store at the end of the 10th. Fury boxed most of the fighters as southpaw. But one thing you can guarantee is Derek mentally is in a better place now than he was in them two fights. Them two fights, he was not mentally as strong as what he is now. He's coming off a good win against Kubrat Pulev. I'm not for 1 minute suggesting that Derek Chisora wins this fight. He's an overwhelming underdog. We know that. What I'm saying is upsets happen. This would be as big an upset, if I'm honest, as Buster Douglas knocking out Tyson. You know, you're talking about that sort of level because Fury's the number one heavyweight in the world. And he's the number one for a reason. You know, he delivers. But one thing I can guarantee is we're going to get a fight on Saturday night.
100%. I'll be honest, I initially wasn't too keen on it, but that style of fighting, you know, Chisora's going to bring it, and Tyson is going to have to keep him off him. Do you see this fight going past the halfway mark?
It's a tough one to call, it really is, because look, I've seen all the clowning around between these two. These two go back a long way, like I say, you know, they've got a history together. I know that Fury was saying, listen, I'll meet you head on, centre of the ring, we'll draw a line, we'll both go toe to toe. I don't think he'll do that. Fury's a smart guy. He knows what he's got to do. He's got to keep it long, and he'll slowly but surely break Fury down, break Chisora down. That's what he does, Fury. You know, he's just one of those guys. If he stands there with Derek Chisora, he gives Chisora a chance. As you know, Chisora's a tough guy, man, that likes to swing. He shoots from the hip. He lets the shots go, and he'll roll the dice early, but no, I expect, will it go past the halfway point? Possibly, yeah, because Derek Chisora is one tough cookie. Do you know what I mean? And he will hang in there, man. So yeah, I think I don't know if we hear the final bell, but I definitely think that Chisora gives it a go.
There's obviously been a bit of criticism of the undercard, but to be fair, Daniel Dubois is in a hard fight. If people know Lerana, that guy can fight. He was a very good cruiserweight. I think is it about time fans kind of accept when you've got marquee names like Tyson Fury fighting, he's the attraction?
Absolutely, this is the Tyson Fury show. You know what? It's going to be like one of those, you know, the ring entrance is going to be spectacular. Fury does the best ring entrances. It's a show. And, you know, he's going to come out there, he's going to put on a show. We've got a tough guy in Chisora, a fighter that's coming to win, you know, that's going to believe in himself. You know, if you look back to when Fury in his last fight at Wembley against Dillian Whyte, when time Dillian was walking to the ring, he didn't look like he had that self-belief. You know what I mean? He was holding back a little bit. Chisora rolled the dice straight away. He'll go for it. So, look, I know you're talking about undercards not being that strong. Daniel Dubois and Lerana is a good fight. You know, he is a cruiserweight coming up. I expect Dubois to be too big, too strong, and he's put himself right in the mix now. You know, like Alex Krasav is here as well. You know, Usyk's manager, so he's got somebody else on the bill. The kid that's boxing in the lightweight European title fight. So he's on the bill. That will be good. But what's he here for? Is he here to do a deal with Tyson Fury next? I know that I spoke to him earlier on. He was talking about if Fury comes through this fight, we are ready to take the fight in March. He's ready for the fight in March. So, you know, that's where it could go. Look, loads going on at the moment, mate. But, yeah, I'm not really worried about the undercard on this one, if I'm totally honest. I'm looking forward to the Dubois fight. And I'm looking forward, obviously, to Fury, Chisora. But that's all I'm really looking forward to, if I'm honest. They're the fights that really interest me, if I'm honest.
Definitely. Just want to get your opinion on another big fight announced this week, Chris Eubank Jr, Liam Smith. There's a comment Chris comment Chris Eubank made to Sky Sports. He basically said that he wasn't made aware of the first failed drugs test from Conor Benn, which was back in August, which by my understanding is a WBC test. So he basically went into some negotiations for that fight, and he said if he knew about it, he would have gone into them negotiations. What do you make of that? Do you think, like, obviously, I don't know if Matchroom knew about it or not, but should he be made aware of that?
Listen, yeah, I mean, I can't really give you the answer on that because I don't know the ins and outs of it. You know, I heard the same comments that he was saying, Eubank Jr, that there was other tests that he didn't hear about, and had he heard about that, the fight wouldn't have been pulled off at the final hour. It would have been pulled off before that. But it is what it is, you know. It's all a complete mess at the moment, as you know. We've covered that a lot, and you know what? I'm going to leave it where it is now, really, and put that to bed because, you know, it's down to Conor now just to prove his innocence, and if he can't do that, you know, the situation is going to stand as it stands. So let's see how that turns out.
The other thing I want to speak to you about is, you know, we were speaking off camera. You saw my interview with Kell Brook the other day. Obviously, you had to give up boxing because of an injury. Obviously, Kell is kind of a personal decision, but what do you make of his reaction and his comments where he says he feels like he's died since retirement?
I get it. I understand it. You know, with boxers, once they finish boxing, they lose their identity. Once they lose their identity, they've got to fit into life as a normal civilian, and that's a hard thing to do, you know, because, you know, since a kid, he's been living, eating, sleeping boxing, you know, so he's not really lived it in the real world. It's a difficult task that he's got ahead of him, and I spoke to Kell about this myself, actually, and mentally, you know, he says he's not in the greatest of space because boxing, you know, without boxing, he feels lost. That's probably a better way of saying it. He feels lost, and I could see that. I looked at that interview, and I could see that he looked like he'd died in his eyes. He looked very sad and very emotional. I thought you conducted that interview very well, actually, because you didn't go too hard on it. You just let him say what he had to say. But, yeah, I feel for Kell at the moment because he's trying to find direction in life. He's trying to find some focus to get into. And at the moment, he's struggling with that. But, you know, Kell Brook has been a great ambassador for our sport over many and many years, and he's given us some fantastic nights. The most memorable one, you know, was probably against Amir Khan up in Manchester. What a week that was. So I just hope that Kell finds what he's looking for, and he, you know, he gets the support that he needs. He's a great guy, Kell, a lovely man. But yeah, I saw that he was very emotional, and yeah, I was upset for him a little bit, if I'm honest.
Spence, as always, I really appreciate your time. Let's look forward to a big fight night Saturday.
Yeah, listen, can't wait, man. That's what I said to you. One thing you can guarantee is Chisora will bring the smoke. It's going to make it interesting. Obviously, Fury's the man, but Chisora will give it a go.
In fact, in a quick minute, could you break down Josh Kelly, Troy Williamson, another big fight that's going under the radar this Friday?
Mate, that's a massive fight going under the radar this Friday for obvious reasons, because of this fight and everything else that's been going on. Yeah, great fight, man. Troy Williamson is a strong dude who just keeps coming. Josh Kelly has the bigger profile of the two, and he's the better boxer, has the better boxing IQ. But as we've seen in recent fights with Josh Kelly, go past that 6-round point, and it can become difficult. And Troy Williamson is the type of guy that likes to take fighters into the late fight, into the later rounds, because that's where he steals their soul. That's where he looks to break them down slowly but surely. So you got to go Kelly early, and if that doesn't happen and you get into the later rounds, Williamson has got a real chance, because that's where we've seen Kelly come apart a little bit in recent times.
There's a comment Troy made in the presser that stuck with me. He said there's something that's bred inside you, which is to obviously survive them sort of hard moments, and he feels Josh hasn't got it.
Yeah, well, listen, he's picked up on that, obviously, in previous performances with Josh against Avanesian. We saw that, you know, Josh started really well, and there's loads of movement, and he's good. I mean, he's really good. But when it got tough and he had to bite down on his gum shield, you saw him just sort of come apart, and he come apart quite quickly. That's something that he's got to overcome psychologically, you know, because when you get to that stage in a fighter has to bite down on his gum shield, and you got to go there. Like, you got to go to a place that a normal human being would not be willing to go to. And I think that's what's missing with Josh Kelly at the moment. That's the only thing that we haven't seen that he's got. That's the thing that he needs, sorry. That's the thing that we haven't seen that he's got. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? So that's what I'm looking for Josh. You know, he's a great fighter, but there is something missing, and that might be it.
Spence, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Cheers, bro.